Hello, today we learn the transportation problem, which is the part of the operations research. What is the transportation problem? First, we have to know what is the transportation problem that we are going to learn. The transportation problem is a special type of linear programming problem where the objective is to minimize the cost of the transportation of product from a number of sources, source also known as the origin, to a number of destination. The transportation problem is to transport a homogeneous product. Homogeneous means we are, in this case, we are considering the one type of the product we are transporting from sources to the destination. Source is maybe our the plant, factory, or the warehouse from where we are transporting our commodity or goods or the items to the destination. Destinations may be the distributors or where the demand is created. So we are transporting the commodity from our sources to the different destination in such a way that our transportation cost should be minimum. So our objective is that to minimize the transportation cost. That is our the objective. To achieve this objective, the amount and the locations of the available supplies and the quantities demand must be known in before in hand. That means we have to know how much is available in our the source in plant or a factory. That is known as the stock, and how much demand is created at the destination. The cost that result from the transporting one unit of the commodity from origin to the various destination. At the same time, we have to know transportation cost for the one unit of commodity transporting from one sources to the another destination. Suppose we are transporting the one unit of commodity from our the ith sources to the jth destination. That is we are denoted by Cij. So we have to know that transportation cost from the ith sources to the jth destination. The transportation, that is the distribution problem, is significant for most commercial organizations. They operate several factory plants and hold inventory in regional warehouse. Few assumptions before we start solving the transportation problem. Only a single type of the commodity is being transported from a source. Source means the origin to the destination. Total supply, that is the stock and available, is equal to the total demand. That means total, how much total demand is created at that destination, that is in the distributor level, and how much where we have the stock in our the stock problem, that should be the same. The unit transportation cost of the item also sources to the destination is known. The objective is to minimize the total transportation cost. So what is our the objective? We have to minimize our the total transportation cost. In that total transportation cost is the, since we are minimizing the total transportation cost, so this linear programming problem is known as the minimization problem. So mathematical formulation of our the transportation problem. Let us consider we have the M factory or plant. That means we have the M sources or the origins, and we are called it as O1, O2, O3, OM. That is the M number of plants or origins or sources, what we can say. And N distributor, that the stockist or the destination, that is we are denoted as the D1, D2, D3, Dn respectively. And AI, that is the available stock at the ith sources or the ith origin. We can say that I is equal to 1 to m with the amount available, the stock at the ith factory or the source or the origin. Sorry, this should be the source. OI. Let the amount required at the jth distributor or the destination, that is the DJ, is BJ. We are calling as the BJ. BJ is greater than equal to 0. AI and BJ are greater than 0 because both are the physical quantity. Both is our the physical quantity. I is 1 to m and j is equal to 1 to n. So BJ is the demand created at the jth destination. Let the cost of transportation 1 unit of the commodity from ith sources to the jth destination be CIJ. What is CIJ? When you are transporting the 1 unit of the commodity from ith sources to the jth destination, charges is CIJ. So if we transporting the XIJ amount from ith sources to the jth destination, and Xij, since it is a real quantity, it is greater than equal to 0. So what would be the cost of transporting the Xij quantity from ith sources to the jth destination is Cij into Xij. That is our the transportation cost to shifting or transporting the commodity Xij, amount of Xij from the ith sources to the jth destinations. Now we have to determine the Xij by using the sum method. How much the quantity we can shifting from the ith sources to the jth destinations. Now this is the graphical and pictorial representation of the source and destinations, how they are correlated and how we are shifting the commodity from the sources to the destination. So this is our the source, that is in the plant or factory level or the warehouse level, and this is the demand created in the destination, that is the distributor level. This, or sometimes also we are called it the warehouse also. Warehouse may be in our the factory level also, warehouse also may be in the destination level, because the distributor that place their requirement or demand to the company, and they try to supply their quantity or commodity from the nearest sources to the destination by considering that the minimum cost. So our objective is to minimize the transportation cost. Here we have the M sources or M factory, or we can say that we have the M supply point. S1, S2, S3, SM is our the supply point, and we are supplying to the destination. Our destination is D1, D2, and Dn, where the demand is created. So we can supply from any sources to the any destination. So from S1 we can send the commodity from to the destination D1, D2, Dn. From S2 supply point or the source point, from where we can also transport the goods or the commodity to the destination D1, D2, Dn. Here, when we are shifting the commodity S1 to D1, it is known as the X11, because S1 to D1, it is notation as the X11. When we are shifting the commodity or allocate the commodity or the material or item from S1 to S2, it is denoted as X12. Like that, when you are shifting the commodity from SM, source M, to the destination N, then it is denoted as XMN. Like that, if we shifting the commodity from S2 to the DN, then it will be X2N. And the shifting cost per unit item is C11 when we are shifting from the source 1 to the destination 1. Like that, we can say when we are shifting ith sources to the jth destination, 1 unit of the commodity and the transportation cost is Cij. And if we transport Xij amount of the commodity from ith sources to the jth destination, that is denoted at Xij. Now we try to formulate a general transportation problem, or we can say this is the general form of the transportation problem. What the objective? Our objective is to minimize the transportation cost. What is the transportation cost? When we are shifting the commodity from ith sources to the jth destination is Xij, and transportation cost for shifting 1 unit of commodity from ith sources to the jth sources is Cij. So transportation cost from ith sources to the jth destination is Cij into Xij. So we have the m number of sources and n number of destination. If we sum up in the row wise, so what will get? Cij into Xij is equal to j to n. And if we take the total summation, then I is equal to 1 to m, j is equal to 1 to n, Cij, Xij. That is the total cost, transportation cost. And that we are writing as a z equal to that. And we have to minimize this. This is the objective function according to the linear programming problem. And subject to the condition, when we are sum up according to that row wise, suppose in the row wise, or the available at the source S1, that is the AI. So sum of this Xij, whatever we are transporting from the ith sources, whatever we are shifting from the ith sources, that we sum up j is equal to 1 to n. That is in the row wise, ith row we are summing up, we are getting Xij less than equal to AI for I is equal to 1 to n. For the suppose considering the S1, so we are taking the summation j is equal to 1 to n x1j for the first row, for the second source, for the third source, like that j source. And similarly, the demand created in the jth destination, demand created at the jth destinations is the bj. So whatever the transporting from the different sources to the jth destinations is Xij, I is equal to 1 to m greater than equal to bj for j is equal to 1 to n. And since Xij, whatever we are transporting from one sources to the another destination is the physical quantity, that's why it is greater than equal to 0 for all I and j. This LPP is called the general form of the transportation problem. In the LPP, the one objective function and the constraints along with the non-negativity conditions. This is known as the non-negativity conditions, and these two subject is known as the constraints. General mathematical form of a transportation problem. This is general mathematical form of a transportation problem. Let us consider there are m sources and n destination. That is already we discussed, but here we are discussing more elaborately. AI be the quantity available or supply stock at the ith sources, I is equal to 1 to n, that we already learned. And Bj be the quantity demand required at the jth destination, j is equal to 1. And let Cij be the transportation cost for the transporting 1 unit of commodity or quantity from ith sources to the jth destination. We can state a transportation problem TP in a tabular form as. Now we are making a table to explain more elaborately. So from where we are transporting the commodity. These are the our sources S1, S2, Sn. These are the our origins also we can call, from where we are transporting the commodity. And these are the D1, D2, Dn is our the destination where the demand is created. Here it is the capital Bj, B1, B2, Bn is our the demand created at that destinations. And here A1, A2 and AM is our the available or the supply or the stock. Supply also known as the available, also known as the stock, at our the source points or the origins points or the factory or plant. And these are the demand created at the distributor level, at the destination, or we can call it the warehouse level. Now, if we sum up A1, A2, A1, A2, AM, we will get the summation I is equal to 1 to M AI. This is known as the total available. And if we sum up this way, B1, B2, Bn, that is the total demand created, summing up the each and every distribution point or the destinations. Now, when we are summing up, these are the X11, X12, and X1N. We are the commodity transporting from sources 1 to the destination 1, destination 2, and destination N. If we sum up this X11, X12, and X1N, we will get the A1, whatever we got in the last slide. See, summing up Xij for the one sources when I is equal to 1, Ij, j is equal to 1 to 8, it is less than equal to Ai. Similarly, if we check for the demand created at the jth destination, see, in this way, if we sum up, the demand at the D1 is B1 and X11 supplied from the S1 sources, X21 supplied from the S2 sources, and XM1 supplied from the SM sources. So summing up, this will get the B1. That's why it is written here BJ. Now we are in the previous table, small boxes are known as the cell. These are known as the cell. This is the notation as cell 1, 1. This is cell 1, 2. This is cell 1 in. This is cell 2, 1, 2, 2, 2n. Like that, this is the cell M1, M2, Mn. So total number of cell where the M number of sources and N number of destination is Mn. The cells in the transportation table can be classified as a occupied and unoccupied cell. So two types of cell is there in a transportation table. One is known as the occupied table and another is known as the unoccupied table. The allocated cell in the transportation table is called the occupied cell, and empty cell in the transportation table is known as the unoccupied cell. When the value of X11 is greater than 0, then it is known as the occupied cell. Or when the value of, suppose, Xij is equal to 0, then it is known as the unoccupied cell. Transportation problem represented by the linear programming model as. So it is the repetition of the part of that. So when we are talking, the transportation problem is a linear programming problem. So yes, we can answer that it is yes. We can represent the transportation problem is a linear programming problem because we can write z is the cost function, that is our the objective function, that is already we discussed. But question is that when the question is arises that the transportation problem is a linear programming problem, our answer will be yes, and we have to say we can write z is equal to this is our the cost function, and we have to minimize this z function. That means this is our the objective function, and these two is our the constraint. Subject condition is that summation of xij j is equal to 1 to n is less than equal to ai. That is the supply constraint, and we can write I is equal to 1 to m xij greater than equal to b for j equal to 1 comma 2 n. It is the demand constraint, and since xij is the real quantity, so it may be greater than equal to 0. That's why we are writing xij greater than equal to 0. So considering total of the things, we say the transportation problem is a linear programming problem, and we can say that it is a linear programming model. For existence, what is the existence of the feasible solution? Now, what is called the feasible solution? Later on, we are coming to the exact definition. So, what is called the feasible solution? Those xij, this is the values of the xij in the table we found in the cell allocated cell or unallocated cells. In the allocated cell xij, that values of xij satisfying these two constraints, supply constraint and the demand constraint, is known as the feasible solution. And along with this, when it is satisfying the non-negativity conditions, then it is known as the basic feasible solution. And also existence of the feasible solution, that is supply. This is our the supply or the stock or available at our the ith source or the ith origin. If we sum up the total available should be equal to the total demand. If it is equal, then we can say the feasible solution exists. This is our the necessary conditions. If the total supply is equal to the total demand, then the transportation problem is known as a balanced transportation problem. If it is equal, that means total available and total demand is same, then it is known as the balanced transportation problem. If it is not equal, then it is known as the unbalanced transportation problem. Now it is clear what is called the balanced transportation problem and what is called the unbalanced transportation problem.